Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world, to the world away. We've now got 4 stages of pack 3 of the Fanhome release of Build the Mark III Iron Man Armour. Now we're going to do this by pack, so we've got 4 stages in here. We're pretty much going to be working on the right forearm, elbow joint, and we're going to be building the shoulder joint as well. But before we actually go into the magazines, let me just show you some of the prints that we've got for this pack. Now this is what they come in, a nice little envelope here. And if I just show you some of the prints we got, some of these are absolutely brilliant. We got that one there, look how big they are compared to me. A complete ensemble there. We've got 3 prints in total. Excellent one of Iron Man there, looking like that. And then lastly, the old Hulkbuster by the look of it there. Looking just like that. Absolutely brilliant. But as I said, they come in this like presentation envelope. To be honest with you, I do like the picture on the front of the envelope as well, looking like that, which is absolutely brilliant. But if you want to get this for yourself all the way from pack 1, and as you can see just on the shelf there, I've got everything we've done in pack 1. If you haven't seen any of my previous Iron Man videos, I'll put a link to the playlist up here so you can watch that. All you need to do, head over to Fanhome website just down the bottom there. You'll be able to get this all the way from issue 1. But without further ado, let's get cracking. There we go. This is what the magazine looks like. If you're unsure of the magazine, then basically it just tells you all about the comic book character here as well. Some of the details about Iron Man and what we're actually building today. Today, as you can see here, we're doing the right forearm. And then it just goes in about where these parts go and some more about Tony Stark and the Iron Man armour. And the first thing we need is this section here. Just so you know, this is die-cast metal. As you can see, the paint scheme is brilliant and it's really quite heavy. And then we've got the trim here, which is plastic. Now, this is the first thing that we're going to be needing to do. As you can see, we've got 3 holes actually, just at the top of this section here. We're going to be pushing them together. No glues needed for this. We've just got to make sure it's lined up correctly and then push it in. Just like that. We then got the top forearm piece, which is going to go into this cavity that we can just see there. That's just going to sit in, oh, wrong way round. It's going to be sitting in that way round, but it's going to be held in on the other side through that hole there with a screw, and that is a BP screw, and that looks like that. So we get this out and screw that all the way in, just like that. It's going to hold everything together there, like that. And then we want to bring over the elbow joint that we worked on in the last stage, which looks just like that. This is the side that we're interested in. So if I have that this way round, probably best on the top camera, we've got a square lug and a round lug, which is going to mirror the square and the round lug holes that we've got in this side here. So this is just going to go in like that. It's going to be held in with 1 screw there, which is a DM screw. Now this is going into metal, so I will just drop one of these screws just in a little bit of oil. Now these screws do have flanges on them, so it's not hard to see what screw we're actually using for that. So we've got one in there. We've actually got another one just to put next to it, just there. Here's the second one going in. Just like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. But look, it's quite a big piece. As you can see, it is pivotable, so it can be manipulated there. But as you can see, the forearm, it's upside down there to show you on the other camera there, is coming along. But that's all there is to do in that stage. Now, this is what stage 8 looks like. Once again, some information about the comic book Iron Man. And we're basically going to be doing some more on the right forearm there. So once again, this is what all the pieces look like. Now, it's worth noticing that the screws that you get with these tend not to be in these packets. They're actually in the plastic bags that they come in. So make sure you got them before you actually start the build. Now, just like last time, we're going to take the forearm piece here, which again is metal and die cast, and we're actually going to be doing exactly like we did in the last part. We're going to be putting the protector on. It goes around this way. It's just going to fit on this end here. So it is a push in, just like that. But this time, we will be holding it in with a screw there. Now that screw is a BP screw. So I've got one here And we'll just put that all the way in, and that holds that bit of trim in. And we could just put that to one side as we're going to make up the wrist joint now. Now the wrist joint is made up of 3 separate pieces looking just like that. So we need the ball joint looking like that. And we need the base of it, which has got a place for the ball joint to go in just down the center there, which means we can put a screw all the way through these. Now that screw is quite a long one. It's a JP screw. And that's just going to go onto the end here so that when we put the screw in, it's actually countersunk. So the screw's actually going to go through the parts. So as you can see, the screw's in there, but obviously being countersunk, you can't see it on either side. Then we've got this cover to put over here. This cover is quite rubbery. It's a rubbery material. It's just going to go over the top, just like that. It's going to sit just on the joint like that, with these tab sections facing in the opposite direction to the length of that joint. So when we put this in, we want to make sure we put it in lengthways into the first channel, and then the rubber grommet's going to go into the second channel. So when we put it in, it's going to look kind of like, oh, let's get them all in, a little bit fiddly. There we go, kind of like that's there. And then we're going to be putting this in with the section that we made with the elbow joint, and that's just going to close all of this off by going over the top and pinning all of this together. There should be no seams down here, or no gaps should I say. There will be a seam because we are going to be putting this together with 4 screws just in here, and they are EM screws. So I've got them here. Here's the first one. I have put these in a little bit of oil. Not going to put them in too tight, but just tight enough to be able to get all the other ones in. There's the second. Bit of oil. And there's the fourth, and then we just tighten all of these up. So there you go, and when that's in, that should look just like that. So once again, we've got the elbow joint here, still able to move, and now we've got a pivot point to attach the gauntlet. But that's all there is to do in that stage. Now in stage 9, as you can see here, we're going to be doing some more of the right forearm and the elbow. Got some more joints here. We're just going to piece these together to expand on what we've just previously done here. And these are the pieces that we've got in this one. There's no screws in this stage, but we will need to bring over what we've just been working on. And as you can see, we've got a plate in this side where we put those 4 screws in. We're actually going to be covering that now with this section here. Again, the paintwork's immaculate. This is plastic going over die cast. So we'll push this into place. And there we go, and when that's in, it should look just like that. Again, no seams, and it should be able to hold its own weight, no problems at all. So the next section we're going to be doing is the elbow guards, and they do have these round armour parts to help them here. Now it's pretty easy to see how they go. They are labelled here R2, so you just find the corresponding one that says R2, and they have got 2 different size lugs in there. You see a larger one and a smaller one, and these are just pressed to fit. So just line up the larger one there and the smaller one, and then just push them together. Just like that. Do the same on the other side here. This one again says R1 on it, matching the R1 that's on that side. Just like that. And that's the elbow guard in place. Now we're going to be putting the elbow guard actually on the joint that we've just worked on. There is an R in there. I don't know if you can see that. That's going to help us line it up. So basically with the R facing down towards the table here, this is just going to go over this section here. So as you can see, we do have a square lug that's just going to go into the square lug that we got there, and we're just going to push that in until it's nice and tight. And there we go, that's the guard in place, just like that. Again, the elbow is still able to move, and that's all there is to do in that stage. And now finally in stage 10 here, we'll just turn to what we're actually going to be doing. We're going to be doing the right shoulder joint. So we're working on quite a lot of sections in this one. We do have some sort of sticky pads as well. I'm not quite sure what these are going to be for. A lot of people do ask me, how do you remagnetize a screwdriver? They're actually telling us about that in this one as well. And that's all down here. Obviously you get a magnet, you just stroke it in one direction, and and that helps you magnetize the screwdriver up. But it does give you all the instructions how to do that here. So we're going to be creating this shoulder joint here, and by the end of it, wow, look at that. We are going to have just the shoulder joint ready to go. But that will be all there is to do in that stage. So let's do that now. So these are all the parts to the shoulder joint here, and this is the first part we need. And this is where we're going to be putting one of these pads on. And we're going to be putting it on the shoulder joint here. Now, in the picture, it shows them with a hole in the middle there. We haven't got a hole here, but obviously it's easy to punch a hole through that. I can't see any pre-cut holes in there as well, but I'm going to put it that way at the moment because you're never going to see that anyway at the end of the day. We're going to be doing exactly the same thing just on the other side here in this channel here. So just make sure that's centered in there. Oh, just like that. I think that's just going to provide a bit of friction in there. Then we're going to be doing the same on these pieces here, just on one side. You can't put them on the other side because there is a raised detail on it there. So we're going to put one on each side here. These centers do come out. There is some of these have been cut so that you do have a hole. The first two that I just put in there didn't, which is interesting. So there's the first one. Let's see if I can find another hole in this. This one's okay as well. This is the second one. Perhaps I should have used the ones with the holes in there. I don't think these have got holes. Let's just have a quick check. It doesn't matter. Oh, they do. There we go. Look. It's just my eyesight is terrible. So we get these off. And then we need the part that's labelled R1 because we're going to be piecing this shoulder point together now, all of these sections here. And the first thing we're going to do, take one of these sections, we're going to put it over the spindle in the middle. Now we have got tabs on this side, they're going to help us line it up. So when we push that in, it shouldn't be able to turn because the tabs are going to stop us doing that. We're going to do the same on this side here. So that's just going to go in like that. And again, the parts in the centre are going to stop that turning. Then we're going to be piecing all of these together. So we've got this one we've just created, and this one here with the detail on top there. That's going to go on this way round. We want to make sure we're lining all these holes up here. So that's the second one in, just like that. And then we're going to be closing that off by mirroring the first one. Turn that round by just putting this over the top. Probably best to see the pictures here because it's very tricky to show you on camera, but you want to make sure that they are seated perfectly together. When they're in, they should look just like that. We do want to hold this all together. So we have got some screws and nuts here. We just want to drop one of the nuts just in the channel here, turn it over, and then put a screw just in the other side and screw all of this together. Nice and tight to keep it all together, but you should still be able to move that just like that. It's got to have some resistance because even though it's hard to bend at the moment, once the arm's in here, you can have bigger leverage so that it'll be able to move a lot easier. You don't want that to be too loose. But that is the shoulder joint completed, and that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. So basically, we've got the forearm looking like that with the elbow joint there and the shoulder piece. Now I'm guessing eventually that this hand is going to be going on the end here, and it is just a ball joint. So shall I do it now just to put it in? Yeah, let's have a go. And there you go, that's what it looks like with the hand on. I probably wouldn't do that now because putting this hand on just onto that ball joint there was an absolute living nightmare, and I'm sure there's going to be an easier way to do that later on. But that's what that joint looks like. I'm sure there's probably something that's meant to go in there as well. Obviously that's hidden on there as well, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what this forearm is going to look like there. I have got the light on as well, but obviously with this stage here, just put that back on there, the shoulder joint, that's all there is to do in that pack. And there you go, that's it for delivery 3 of the Iron Man. Obviously, we're going to have 11, 12, 13 and 14 coming soon. Once again, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link for Fanhome down the bottom. You'll be able to head over and you can order that for yourself. But I really do hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.